One day on Sodor, Henry was having some rest after yesterday's hard work. Well, Murdoch is currently doing my work, he puffed. Deep down, he missed Adam, who helped comfort him after he broke down for the first time. Who would cause Adam, my first friend, to die? Puffed Henry. At an abandoned part on a line, Mr. Zorro was coming up with an evil plan with Fred, an engine he saved from scrap. Remember the time the black liquid was poured into Adam? Asked Mr. Zorro. Of course, I was informed about it, puffed Fred. That black liquid needs protection, and here's our key to guarding it, said Mr. Zorro as some wolves arrived at his side. So, Henry will stop when those wolves are in front of him. Then we take the black liquid, said Mr. Zorro, and he will lead us to it. Henry was chuffing down the line after helping a broken-down Flynn at Knapford. He ran a hot box when he was about to leave with his passengers earlier, he puffed. Unknown to him, Mr. Zorro and Fred were following close behind with the wolves running alongside. Do you see that? He asked. Yes, I see Henry leading us to the black liquid with a barrel. In a barrel, replied Fred. Excellent, said Mr. Zorro. Soon I will wipe out all Sodor engines, starting with Edward. I will usurp Sir Topham Hatt as controller once my plan with all engines is completed. When Henry stopped, the wolves were guarding the barrel with the black liquid. Later, Mr. Zorro arrived on board with Fred. I knew you would lead us to the barrel with the black liquid, he said. Henry had a plan. You can have the barrel. Please give me some time, he puffed as his driver made a fake barrel with black liquid. After Henry left, Mr. Zorro checked inside of the barrel. What? No black liquid in there! Curse you, Henry! He screamed in rage. He then regained composure. Henry barely managed to escape Mr. Zorro, Fred, and the wolves. He felt relieved. When he reversed back into the yards, he fell asleep. Henry, he could remember the day Adam rescued him after Henry first broke down. That made him feel better. Ever since then, the two engines were firm friends. He then woke up. Ah, those were good times, he puffed. Duck then arrived. Are you still thinking about Adam? He puffed. I sure am. I will always remember every good thing he did for me, Henry puffed. Back at the abandoned line, Mr. Zorro was planning to get back the real barrel with the black liquid with Fred and his wolves. We shall take it back tonight, he said. Yeah, only one problem, puffed Fred. What is it? Replied Mr. Zorro. Henry will try to stop us, Fred added. He won't, added Mr. Zorro, because he will fail. After Duck left, Henry was relaxing. This is great, he puffed. He got cross when Mr. Zorro arrived on board Fred along with the wolves that were going alongside. What are you doing here? Asked Henry. I will take back the barrel with the black liquid, he puffed. As soon as he did, he took one look at Henry. So, goodbye, you filthy animal! He said as Mr. Zorro left in the brake van with the wolves behind him. Mr. Zorro thinks he knows what he's doing. He will have another thing coming, Henry puffed. That night, at a faraway part of the island, Mr. Zorro decided to make an announcement to his wolves. Once my plan is complete, you can have any snack you want, he said. This made the wolves happy. As Mr. Zorro was talking to Fred, Henry snuck up behind them. When Mr. Zorro turned around, the barrel with the black liquid was gone. That dummy stole my barrel, he screamed. Onward and yonward tomorrow, you morons! The next day, Thomas arrived. Well, you pulled off a sneaky trick, he puffed. I sure did, replied Henry. Oh, so last night I went back to the sheds late, Thomas replied. Then he left for work. Henry was very happy. Mr. Zorro, on the other hand, was not happy. That idiot! He stole my barrel with black liquid when I was not looking, he growled. Well, here's an idea, puffed Fred. How about we take it back? I like your thinking, my friend, said Mr. Zorro. Soon we will rule Sodor. Cackled Mr. Zorro. Henry was so content he felt like sleeping. He was shocked to hear Fred's whistle. Mr. Zorro, Fred, and the wolves arrived. They needed some business of their own to attend to. Where's my barrel? Mr. Zorro demanded. I'll never tell you, puffed Henry, and he left. After him, growled Mr. Zorro after he climbed aboard the brake van. Henry was so happy about escaping from Mr. Zorro for a second time. Let's hope I don't come across that idiot, he puffed. Mr. Zorro was getting impatient. Dang it! Henry won't give up that barrel with the black liquid, he growled in rage. Well, you can take it from his crew while they're not looking, puffed Fred. You know what? I like that idea, puffed Mr. Zorro. "Fred, that is why you are a great henchman for me to have." Henry then arrived at a yard. "This is great," he said. He spoke too soon, much to his shock after he heard a whistle. Mr. Zorro came. "Henry, your crew better give me the barrel with the black liquid, or Fred will blow you up," he said. This caused Henry to feel worried. "Okay, fine. Take it," he puffed. "Excellent," he said after he collected the barrel. "Henry, here's something for you." "I killed Adam with the black liquid," he added. "How dare you! Shame on you, you filthy animal!" Henry puffed. "I knew to use this at the right time," Mr. Zorro said. "Adam was stranded on an abandoned line, so I came there. I poured the liquid into him, and after Adam's death, I went mad with using the black liquid. He was one of my greatest friends, and you took his life." "Mr. Zorro, you're a monster," puffed Henry. "I will now use this barrel with black liquid on more engines, usurp your controller, and dieselize this railway, while using Fred as my private engine," cackled Mr. Zorro. After the wolves left, Fred puffed away with Mr. Zorro in the brake van. "Oh, it's on like Donkey Kong," puffed Henry as he gave chase to Mr. Zorro and Fred. When Mr. Zorro looked out from the brake van, he saw Henry still chasing him and Fred. "I told you engines don't live happily ever after," snarled Mr. Zorro as he prepared to throw a trash bag at Henry. "Everything you said was wrong," puffed Henry after he bumped the brake van. This caused Mr. Zorro to fall off the brake van, along with the trash bag. At the same time, Fred ran out of coal and water. Henry stopped as well. "I want to see this," he puffed. Mr. Zorro then hit the ground face first and survived. Moments later, the 4 wolves that previously assisted in his scheme arrived. "Guys, despite the setback we had, we will continue the plan," said Mr. Zorro. The wolves were not having any of it. They were closing in on their former boss, putting him in panic mode. "No, no, no!" screamed Mr. Zorro as the 4 wolves mauled him to death and later ate him. That was for Adam, Henry puffed. He then left Fred stranded as he accepted defeat. After Henry returned to the yards, he still missed Adam. Henry felt he was in luck after hearing a whistle. It was Adam. He had returned as an LMS-3F and was given a second chance at life. Adam? I thought Mr. Zorro killed you using the barrel with the black liquid, puffed Henry. He did, but that was my first death. Like Nia and Rebecca, I was given a second chance at life. That's why I'm an LMS-3F instead of an LSWR 415 tank engine, Adam puffed. The two of them talked to each other about the adventure Henry had. Fred was still stuck at where he was. He felt bad for being involved in Mr. Zorro's evil scheme. A little while later, Jane arrived to take Fred away. "It will get better," she said as she started pulling him away. She then pulled Fred into a yard. "Thank you, Jane," he puffed. "You're welcome," replied Jane, and she left. Fred felt better after being filled up on coal and water. "I'm so happy to live on this island, along with helping Gordon with the express whenever busy periods arise," he puffed. Fred then left with the brake van remaining coupled up to him.